The world of Naruto has always been defined by its intricate chakra system, the spiritual and physical energy that shinobi harness to perform their extraordinary feats. But what if there existed a power that predated even the legendary Sage of Six Paths, a forgotten art that could fundamentally alter the very foundation of what it means to be a shinobi? This is the story of Naruto Uzumaki's discovery of ancient breathing techniques and how this single divergence would create ripples that forever changed the ninja world. What if Naruto had breathing techniques? Welcome to Quietly. Let's dive in this story.
The sun had barely crested the horizon when 6-year-old Naruto Uzumaki slipped through a gap in the fence surrounding Training Ground 44, the Forest of Death. His small frame easily fit through spaces that would stop older shinobi, a talent he'd perfected during years of escaping frustrated villagers and Anbu alike. Today marked his third unauthorized expedition into the Forbidden Forest, each venture taking him deeper than before. "I'll show them all," he muttered, pushing aside a curtain of moss. "When I find something amazing in here, they'll have to acknowledge me." Naruto's determination masked a deeper pain. Just yesterday, he'd endured another round of cold stares and whispered insults while the third Hokage was too busy to spend time with him. The forest, despite its dangers, offered solitude and adventure, both rarities in his lonely existence. A strange sensation prickled at his consciousness as he ventured into an unfamiliar section. The trees here seemed older, their massive trunks bearing peculiar markings that resembled elongated flames. The air felt charged, almost alive with expectation. Naruto paused, blue eyes narrowing as he spotted an unusual shimmer between two ancient trees. "What's that?" he whispered, approaching cautiously. The shimmer wasn't Jinjutsu. He'd had enough pranks backfire to recognize those. Instead, it appeared to be a naturally occurring distortion, like heat rising from summer streets. Naruto reached out hesitantly, fingers passing through what felt like cool water. Before he could withdraw, an invisible force pulled him forward, and he tumbled through the barrier with a startled yelp. He landed hard on stone steps worn smooth by time. Blinking in confusion, Naruto found himself at the entrance to a small, ancient shrine. The structure seemed impossibly well preserved, its wooden beams and stone foundation bearing no signs of the decay that should have claimed it centuries ago. The shrine stood in a perfect clearing, surrounded by a ring of those same flame-marked trees, their branches creating a natural dome overhead. "Whoa!" Naruto breathed, his voice unnaturally loud in the stillness. He climbed the steps, drawn by an inexplicable sense of belonging. The shrine door, carved with intricate patterns of sunbursts and spirals, slid open at his touch, revealing a chamber that should have been dark, but was instead illuminated by soft golden light emanating from nowhere and everywhere. At the center of the single room stood a stone pedestal. Atop it rested a sword in a midnight blue scabbard adorned with silver constellations. Beside the blade lay several ancient scrolls, their edges sealed with wax bearing the same sunburst pattern as the door. "A real sword," Naruto whispered, eyes wide with wonder. As he approached, the blade began to hum softly, its scabbard glowing with gentle blue light. The room's atmosphere shifted, pressure building like the moment before a thunderstorm. Naruto froze as motes of golden light gathered at the far wall, coalescing into a translucent figure. The apparition took the form of a tall man wearing traditional garments Naruto had never seen before. His features were noble but kind, his eyes holding both tremendous power and profound sadness. Most striking was the mark on his forehead, a flame-like pattern that seemed to flicker with internal light. "At last," the spirit said, voice resonating with ancient power. "After centuries of waiting, a worthy vessel approaches." Naruto stumbled backward. What are you?" The spirit's lips curved in a gentle smile. "I am but an echo, a guardian tasked with preserving knowledge until one with the potential to wield it appeared." His gaze swept over Naruto assessingly. "You are young, younger than I expected, but your spirit burns brightly. The sword has already responded to you." Naruto glanced at the blade, which continued its soft humming. "That's for me?" "If you prove worthy," the guardian replied. This Nichiren blade and the breathing techniques contained in these scrolls represent the legacy of a clan that existed long before the founding of your village, before the very concept of chakra was understood as it is today. The spirit gestured, and one scroll unrolled by itself, revealing illustrations of warriors performing intricate stances, kanji annotations describing breathing patterns and mental disciplines. Before ninjutsu, before genjutsu, even before taijutsu as you know it, there existed those who harnessed the power of their breath to achieve extraordinary feats, the Guardian explained. They were the breath warriors, protectors who stood against darkness when all other lights had failed. Naruto's eyes widened with each word. And you think I can learn this? I know you can. Your spirit resonates with the blade like none I have sensed in centuries. The Guardian's expression grew solemn. But understand this, these techniques are not meant for glory or dominance. They exist solely to protect, to safeguard those who cannot defend themselves. If you seek power merely for acknowledgement or revenge, the blade will never truly accept you. Something in those words struck Naruto deeply. All his life, he'd craved acknowledgement, dreaming of becoming Hokage so everyone would finally recognize his worth. But underneath that ambition lay something purer, a desire to protect a village that had never protected him, to be for others what no one had been for him. I want. Naruto hesitated, then spoke with unexpected clarity. I want to be strong enough that nobody around me ever has to be afraid. I want to protect everyone, even the ones who don't like me. The Guardian's eyes widened fractionally, then softened. Then approach the blade, young one. Let us see if it agrees with your heart. Heart pounding, Naruto stepped forward and wrapped his small fingers around the sword's hilt. Immediately, warmth flooded through him, and as the blade's humming intensifying to a musical chord that seemed to resonate with his very soul. When he drew it from its scabbard, the metal gleamed impossibly bright, its color shifting from steel gray to a vibrant orange gold that matched the dawn breaking outside. Extraordinary, the Guardian whispered. The blade has accepted you completely, taking on the color of your spirit, the rising sun. In all my centuries of watching, I have never seen a Nichiren blade react so strongly to its first contact. Naruto stared at the beautiful weapon in his hands, feeling its perfect balance despite his youth. What do I do now? You learn, the Guardian replied simply. The scrolls contain the fundamental breathing technique, sun breathing, the original form from which all others descended. Master its principles, and you may eventually develop your own unique style that complements your natural abilities. The spirit gestured, and the scrolls arranged themselves neatly beside the pedestal. Come here at dawn each day. I will guide your initial training, but my existence is limited. Eventually, you must continue alone. Naruto nodded solemnly, understanding instinctively the importance of this moment. I promise I'll work harder than anyone ever has. The Guardian smiled again, more warmly this time. I believe you will. Now, let us begin with the first breath. For the next 2 hours, Naruto remained in the shrine, learning the fundamental principles of sun breathing. The technique required precise control of breathing patterns coordinated with specific stances and mental focus, creating an internal harmony that enhanced every aspect of physical performance. Unlike chakra manipulation, which drew upon internal energy reserves, breathing techniques transform the practitioner's very physiology, increasing strength, speed, and sensory perception beyond normal human limits. To the Guardian's astonishment, Naruto displayed an immediate affinity for the techniques. By the session's end, the boy had already mastered the first form's breathing pattern, his small body moving with unexpected grace through the initial kata. You have a rare gift, the spirit observed, as Naruto completed the sequence for the 5th time without error. Your body adapts to the breathing, as though remembering rather than learning. Naruto grinned, sweat beading on his forehead despite the shrine's cool interior. It feels right somehow, like I was supposed to find this place. Perhaps you were. The Guardian gestured toward the entrance. The sun climbs high. You must return to the village before your absence is noted. Remember, speak of this to no one until you have mastered at least the first 5 forms. These techniques are powerful but require absolute dedication. Naruto reluctantly sheathed the blade, which immediately returned to its midnight blue coloration. Can I take the sword with me? Not yet. Until you master the basic forms, it remains safer here. The Guardian's form began to fade. Return tomorrow at dawn. We have much work ahead. Naruto bowed respectfully, an uncharacteristic gesture that felt natural in this sacred space. Thank you. I won't let you down. I know you won't, Naruto Uzumaki. The Guardian smiled as he disappeared entirely. You carry the will of fire, and now, the breath of the sun. As Naruto exited the shrine, the barrier shimmered behind him, concealing the ancient structure once more. With a heart lighter than it had ever been, he made his way back toward the village, already planning his return the following morning. For the first time, his dream of becoming someone important felt tangible. Not just a fantasy to escape his loneliness, but a path he could actually walk. What he couldn't know was how completely this discovery would transform not only his own destiny, but the fate of the entire shinobi world. For the next 4 years, Naruto lived a double life. To the village, he remained the loud, prank-loving troublemaker, a mask that provided perfect cover for his secret training. Every morning before dawn, he would slip into the forest of death, train intensively with the Guardian until mid-morning, then return to the academy or his usual haunts, carefully concealing his growing abilities. The Guardian, whom Naruto eventually learned had been named Hinokami in life, proved to be a strict but compassionate teacher. Under his guidance, Naruto mastered not only the 12 forms of sun breathing, but began developing his own unique adaptations that incorporated his naturally massive chakra reserves. Your world's chakra system creates interesting possibilities. Hinokami observed during their 3rd year of training. The breathing techniques enhance your physical capabilities and spiritual focus, while your chakra amplifies and extends these effects. The combination is unprecedented. By his 10th birthday, Naruto had progressed far beyond what Hinokami had initially thought possible. The boy had mastered what he now called solar chakra breathing, a hybrid technique that fused the ancient discipline with modern chakra manipulation. When fully activated, it allowed him to move with blinding speed, strike with tremendous force, and perceive his surroundings with almost supernatural clarity. Most importantly, his training had transformed his character. The desperate need for attention gradually gave way to quiet confidence. His brash impulsiveness evolved into tactical thinking. His resentment toward the villagers' treatment melted into a more profound understanding of human nature and a genuine desire to protect everyone, regardless of how they treated him. The day before his final academy exam, Hinokami made an announcement that Naruto had both anticipated and dreaded. Tomorrow marks the completion of your basic training, the Guardian said as Naruto performed the final kata of the 13th form, a sequence he had developed himself that incorporated spiraling movements reminiscent of the Uzumaki clan's traditional fighting style. My purpose is fulfilled. Soon I will fade from this plane entirely. Naruto lowered the Nichiren blade, which now glowed a permanent deep gold when in his hands. I still have so much to learn. The greatest lessons await you beyond these walls. Hinokami replied gently. You have mastered more in 4 years than most breath warriors achieved in decades. It is time for you to carry this knowledge into the world. He gestured, and the stone pedestal shifted, revealing a hidden compartment containing a specially designed harness. From this day forward, the Nichiren blade is yours to carry. This harness will allow you to conceal it beneath your clothing until you are ready to reveal your abilities. Naruto accepted the gift solemnly. When should I reveal what I can do? Trust your instincts. They have never failed you. Hinokami's form began to flicker. Remember always, true strength lies not in defeating enemies, but in protecting what matters most. The breathing techniques exist not to elevate you above others, but to enable you to bear burdens others cannot. The Guardian smiled, pride evident in his fading features. You have grown into someone remarkable, Naruto Uzumaki. Far more than I dared hope when you first stumbled upon this shrine. Whatever trials await you, face them with the same determination and compassion you have shown here. Naruto bowed deeply, tears threatening at the corners of his eyes. Thank you for everything, Hinokami-sensei. One last gift before I depart. The Guardian's nearly transparent hand reached out, touching Naruto's forehead. The knowledge of how to awaken your mark, should you ever face a threat beyond even your considerable abilities. The catalyst will be emotion, the absolute commitment to protect something precious, even at the cost of your own life. Warmth spread from the touch, knowledge unfurling in Naruto's mind like a blooming flower. The Demon Slayer mark, he whispered, recognizing the flame-like pattern that had always adorned Hinokami's forehead. Use it wisely, and only when necessary. It grants tremendous power, but taxes the body severely. The Guardian's form had become little more than an outline now. Farewell, my student. You carry not only my teachings, but my hopes for this world. I won't let you down, Naruto promised, straightening his shoulders. Hinokami's final words hung in the air as he disappeared completely. You never have. Alone in the shrine for the first time, Naruto carefully attached the Nichiren blade to the special harness, securing it across his back where it would remain hidden beneath his orange jacket. Tomorrow would be his graduation exam, the beginning of his public life as a shinobi. While part of him longed to demonstrate his true abilities immediately, he understood the wisdom and patience. As he exited the shrine for what he knew might be the last time, he made a silent vow. He would become not just a Hokage, but a protector worthy of Hinokami's legacy. Someone who used power not for personal glory, but to create a world where no child would ever have to grow up alone and unloved as he had. Dawn painted the sky in brilliant oranges and golds as Naruto made his way back toward the village, colors that matched the spirit of the boy who now carried the breath of the sun within him. The academy bustled with nervous energy on graduation day. Students practiced last-minute jutsu while instructors prepared examination materials. Amid the chaos, Naruto sat quietly at his desk, a stark contrast to his usual boisterous behavior. Iruka Umino glanced repeatedly at his most troublesome student, puzzled by the change. For months, he'd noticed subtle differences in Naruto, improved posture, more thoughtful responses, and occasionally flashes of unexpected insight during practical exercises. Though the boy still performed poorly on written tests and maintained his prankster reputation, something fundamental had shifted. Uzumaki Naruto, Mizuki called, beckoning toward the examination room. Naruto rose calmly, ignoring the whispers and snickers from classmates expecting another spectacular failure. He deliberately maintained his academic standing near the bottom of the class, knowing that revealing his true abilities too soon would raise unwanted questions. Inside the examination room, Iruka and Mizuki sat behind a table displaying rows of forehead protectors, the coveted symbol of shinobi status. All right, Naruto, Iruka said kindly, demonstrate the clone jutsu for your final test. Naruto suppressed a smile. The clone jutsu had always been his weakest technique due to his enormous chakra reserves making fine control difficult. Under normal circumstances, he would indeed fail spectacularly, but his breathing training had revolutionized his chakra control, giving him precision that even Jonin would envy. Clone jutsu, he said quietly, forming the hand seals with deliberate grace. A perfect puff of smoke revealed 3 identical clones, flawless in every detail, standing in perfect formation. Iruka's jaw dropped, while Mizuki's eyes narrowed suspiciously. That's excellent, Naruto, Iruka stammered, recovering his composure. When did you master this technique? Naruto shrugged modestly. I've been practicing. Well, it certainly paid off. Iruka beamed, selecting a forehead protector from the table. Congratulations! You've officially graduated. As Naruto accepted the headband, he felt a moment of pure satisfaction. Not because he craved acknowledgement as he once had, but because this represented his first step toward becoming someone who could protect others, toward fulfilling his promise to Hinokami. Outside, rather than shouting his achievement to anyone who would listen, Naruto quietly tied the forehead protector in place and headed toward his apartment. He was acutely aware of Hinata Hyuga's presence nearby, her chakra signature as familiar to him as his own after years of his enhanced perception, noting her frequent, shy observations. Congratulations, Naruto-kun, came her soft voice as he passed a large tree where she had been waiting. He turned, smiling genuinely. Thank you, Hinata. Congratulations to you too. Her pale eyes widened, surprised not only by his acknowledgement, but by his awareness of her presence. Thank you. Instead of continuing on, Naruto made a spontaneous decision. Would you like to get some ramen to celebrate? My treat. The invitation nearly caused Hinata to faint, but she managed a trembling nod instead. As they walked toward Ichiraku, Naruto subtly moderated his pace to match hers, engaging her in gentle conversation that slowly drew her out of her shell. "You're really good at chakra control techniques," he observed. "I've watched you during practice." Hinata's cheeks flushed. "You noticed me?" "More than you might think," he replied honestly. His breath training had heightened his perception to the point where he'd become acutely aware of those around him, particularly those whose chakra resonated harmoniously with his own. Hinata's gentle, water-like energy had always stood out to him, though he'd only recently begun to understand why. At Ichiraku, they shared a meal and conversation that gradually became more comfortable. Naruto discovered that beneath Hinata's shyness lay a keen mind and kind heart. While Hinata saw glimpses of a Naruto few others had been allowed to know, thoughtful, perceptive, and surprisingly gentle. "Why do you want to be a shinobi, Hinata?" he asked as they finished their meals. She hesitated, fingers pressing together in her characteristic nervous gesture. "I want to be stronger, to change myself." After a pause, she added quietly, "and to be acknowledged by certain people." Naruto nodded, understanding more than she realized. "I think you're already stronger than you know. Sometimes we just need the right opportunity to show it." The genuine belief in his voice brought tears to Hinata's eyes, quickly blinked away. By the time they parted ways, something fundamental had shifted between them. The foundation of a connection that would grow far beyond what either could imagine. The next day brought team assignments. Naruto arrived early, taking a seat near the back of the classroom where he could observe everyone without drawing attention. His enhanced senses allowed him to perceive the subtle interplay of emotions and intentions throughout the room. Sasuke's tightly controlled frustration, Sakura's nervous excitement, Hinata's quiet hope as she glanced his way. When Iruka announced Team 7, Naruto, Sasuke, and Sakura, under Kakashi Hatake, Naruto accepted the news with equanimity. These assignments weren't random. They represented carefully considered balance. With his secret abilities, Naruto understood that he could provide what this team truly needed. Not just raw power, but a stabilizing presence between Sasuke's smoldering ambition and Sakura's untapped potential. As they waited for their chronically late sensei, Naruto resisted his former impulse to set up a childish prank. Instead, he sat quietly, occasionally offering thoughtful comments that left both teammates giving him puzzled looks. When Kakashi finally arrived, executing his first test of having them introduce themselves, Naruto chose his words carefully. "My name is Naruto Uzumaki. I like ramen and people who are kind despite having no reason to be. I dislike those who judge others without understanding them. My hobby is training. My dream." He paused, considering how to express his true goal without revealing too much. "My dream is to become strong enough to protect everyone in this village as their Hokage." Kakashi's visible eye narrowed slightly, noting the unexpected maturity in the response. When he later explained the bell test and its actual purpose, teamwork, he was unprepared for Naruto's immediate grasp of the concept. "We need to work together," Naruto told his skeptical teammates once Kakashi had disappeared. "None of us can get a bell alone, but together we might manage it." "Why should we listen to the dead last?" Sasuke scoffed. Naruto met his gaze calmly. "Because sometimes things aren't what they seem, Sasuke, and because you want to pass this test as much as we do." Something in Naruto's steady confidence gave both teammates pause. Eventually, they agreed to a rudimentary plan, one that Naruto carefully constructed to showcase their individual strengths while concealing the full extent of his own abilities. When they successfully retrieved the bells through coordinated effort, Sakura's genjutsu distraction, Sasuke's fire technique, and Naruto's shadow clones executing a pincer movement, Kakashi was genuinely surprised. Not by their success, but by the source of their coordination. "Interesting approach," he commented, eye fixed on Naruto, "particularly from someone with your academic record." Naruto simply smiled. "Like I said, things aren't always what they seem." In the weeks that followed, Team 7 settled into a routine of D-rank missions and basic training exercises. Naruto continued his balancing act, demonstrating enough improvement to justify his position on the team without revealing his true capabilities. Each morning before team meetings, he would find a secluded area to practice his breathing techniques, maintaining the discipline that had become as natural as his heartbeat. His relationship with his teammates evolved gradually. With Sakura, he abandoned his childish crush, treating her instead with respectful camaraderie that eventually earned her grudging appreciation. With Sasuke, he established a quiet rivalry based not on loud declarations, but on consistent performance that occasionally made the Uchiha glance his way with puzzled reassessment. With Hinata, whose team often trained near theirs, he developed a friendship that blossomed through small interactions, encouraging words during joint exercises, shared lunches when their team's schedules aligned, quiet conversations during chance encounters in the village. To his delight, she gradually grew more comfortable in his presence, her stutter fading as genuine connection replaced nervous admiration. The peaceful routine ended abruptly when Team 7 received their first C-rank mission, escorting bridge builder Tazuna to the Land of Waves. As they prepared to depart, Naruto felt the weight of the Nichiren blade against his back, concealed beneath his jacket. Something told him this mission would mark the end of his carefully maintained facade. The time to reveal his true strength approached, and with it, the responsibility he had spent years preparing to bear. The attack came without warning, 2 Chunin-level missing nin emerging from a puddle on a cloudless day. Kakashi fell to their chain attack, apparently torn to pieces before his team's horrified eyes. In the moment of shock that followed, Naruto made a split-second decision. These weren't academy students or D-rank mission challenges. These were killers who wouldn't hesitate to murder his teammates. Concealing his abilities now would risk lives he'd sworn to protect. As the demon brothers charged toward Tazuna, Sasuke moved to intercept. But before he could engage, a golden blur flashed between them. Naruto stood in a stance none of his teammates had ever seen, his body aligned in perfect balance, breathing steady and controlled. "First form," he whispered, drawing the Nichiren blade in one fluid motion. "Dance of the sun's path." What followed appeared to observers as little more than a golden flash and the sound of metal meeting metal. Naruto moved with impossible speed, his blade striking precise points on the enemy's weapons and armor. Within seconds, both assailants lay unconscious, their weapons shattered, without having landed a single blow. Silence fell as Naruto resheathed the gleaming blade, its color fading from brilliant gold to its dormant blue state. He turned to find his teammates and clients staring in shock. "What was that?" Sakura finally managed, voice barely above a whisper. Before Naruto could answer, Kakashi emerged from the forest, very much alive. "Yes, I'd like to know that as well." His casual demeanor had vanished, replaced by the sharp assessment of an elite jonin facing an unknown variable. Naruto sighed, recognizing the moment had come sooner than expected. "It's called sun breathing, an ancient combat technique I discovered 4 years ago. I've been training in secret since then." "That wasn't any taijutsu I've ever seen," Kakashi stated flatly. "And that sword isn't standard academy equipment." "It's a Nichiren blade," Naruto explained, partially drawing the weapon to show its unique construction. "It changes color based on the wielder's spirit and can channel special energies when used with the correct breathing patterns." Sasuke's eyes narrowed dangerously. "You've been hiding your true abilities all this time? Playing the fool while secretly mastering some unknown technique?" Naruto met his gaze steadily. "I had my reasons, Sasuke. Some things need to be protected until the right time." "This mission is now officially above C rank," Kakashi interjected, gesturing toward the incapacitated attackers. "Tazuna-san, you have some explaining to do." And Naruto, his visible eye fixed on his student with new intensity. "You and I will have a very detailed conversation about these techniques and why you've concealed them." As Tazuna confessed the true nature of their mission, the poverty of his country, Gado's stranglehold on their economy, and the bridge that represented their only hope, Naruto listened with growing resolve. This was exactly the kind of situation Hinokami had prepared him for. Innocent people suffering under oppression, needing protection that only someone with his abilities could provide. "We should continue the mission," he said quietly when Tazuna finished. "That's not your decision to make," Kakashi replied sharply. "No, but it's the right one." Naruto's voice held a certainty that drew everyone's attention. These people need help, and we're in a position to provide it. Isn't that what being a shinobi of the leaf is supposed to mean? Something in his words resonated with his teammates. Sakura, despite her fear, nodded in agreement. Even Sasuke grunted affirmation, though his eyes remained fixed on Naruto with a new, calculating interest. Kakashi studied his team thoughtfully before sighing. Very well, we'll continue, but with extreme caution. And Naruto, he added severely, no more secrets. I need to know exactly what you're capable of if I'm going to keep this team safe. As they resumed their journey, Naruto walked alongside his sensei, explaining in low tones the basics of sun breathing and his years of secret training. He omitted mention of the shrine's guardian spirit, presenting his discoveries as the result of finding ancient scrolls, a partial truth that would raise fewer questions than the complete story. This explains a lot about your improved chakra control, Kakashi observed. The breathing techniques you describe would naturally enhance a shinobi's abilities, particularly in combination with your unique chakra situation. The reference to the 9 tails was subtle but clear. Naruto nodded. The techniques work differently for me than they would for others. My chakra amplifies the effects. And you developed this completely on your own? I had guidance from the scrolls, Naruto replied carefully. But yes, most of my training was self-directed. Kakashi's skepticism was evident, but he didn't press further. Show me what you can do when we make camp tonight. I need to understand your capabilities if we're going to work effectively as a team. That evening, in a small clearing away from their campsite, Naruto demonstrated the basic forms of sun breathing, while Kakashi observed with his Sharingan eye uncovered. The Jonin's usual nonchalance disappeared entirely as he witnessed techniques unlike anything in his vast experience. Your chakra flow is extraordinary, he murmured. It's as though the breathing pattern creates perfect harmony between your physical and spiritual energies, eliminating wasted motion entirely. Naruto completed the 5th form, Flame Dance, his blade leaving trails of golden light in the evening air. That's the fundamental principle. The breath aligns body and spirit, unlocking capabilities beyond normal limits. Can others learn this? Theoretically, yes, but it requires aptitude and extensive training. Naruto sheathed his blade. It took me years of daily practice to master the basic forms. Kakashi nodded thoughtfully. For now, keep these abilities in reserve unless absolutely necessary. The element of surprise is valuable, especially if we encounter stronger opponents ahead. The wisdom of this advice became apparent the next day when they encountered Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the hidden mist. As mist enveloped them and killing intent saturated the air, Naruto felt his senses sharpen through his breathing technique, perceiving movements others couldn't detect. When Zabuza appeared behind Kakashi, water prison forming around the Jonin, Naruto immediately assessed the situation. Unlike in the original timeline, he didn't panic or make rash declarations. Instead, he subtly positioned himself between his teammates in danger, eyes tracking Zabuza's water clone with perfect clarity despite the thickening mist. "Sasuke," he whispered, "I need a distraction, something big enough to momentarily draw the real Zabuza's attention from Kakashi-sensei." The Uchiha glanced at him skeptically but nodded. "What are you planning?" "To free Kakashi-sensei. On my signal, fire your strongest technique toward the real Zabuza, not the clone." As Sasuke prepared, Naruto closed his eyes briefly, establishing the breathing rhythm of the 10th form, Sun Wheel. When he opened them again, his perception had entered what Hinokami had called the transparent world, a state where he could see through deception to the core truth of his surroundings, including the flow of life energy in all living things. "Now," he whispered. Sasuke launched a massive fireball toward the real Zabuza. As expected, the missing 9 maintained his water prison while using his free hand to command his water clone to intercept the attack. In that split second of divided attention, Naruto moved. To observers, he seemed to vanish entirely, reappearing behind Zabuza in a flash of golden light. The Nichiren blade, now glowing with solar intensity, sliced through the water surrounding Kakashi with impossible precision, disrupting the jutsu without harming the Jonin inside. As Kakashi fell free, Naruto engaged Zabuza directly, his blade moving in patterns that confused and frustrated the swordsman's attempts to counter. Though Zabuza possessed superior reach and raw power, Naruto's breathing technique granted him speed and perception that negated these advantages. "What the hell are you?" Zabuza growled, his massive blade failing to land a single blow on the agile genin. Naruto didn't waste breath responding. Instead, he maintained perfect focus, each movement flowing into the next with mathematical precision. He wasn't fighting to defeat Zabuza, only to create an opening for Kakashi to recover and take control of the battle. That opening came moments later when Naruto executed the seventh form, Setting Sun Transformation, a sequence of strikes that forced Zabuza to overextend his defense. Kakashi immediately capitalized, rejoining the battle with his Sharingan blazing. "I'll take it from here, Naruto," the Jonin said, voice conveying both gratitude and newfound respect. Naruto nodded and withdrew to protect Tazuna and his teammates, leaving Kakashi to finish the confrontation. When Senbon needles struck Zabuza's neck and a masked hunter nin appeared to claim the body, Naruto's enhanced perception immediately detected the deception. The hunter nin radiated life energy patterns indicating alliance with Zabuza, not opposition. "Kakashi-sensei," he said quietly as they regrouped. "That hunter nin was fake. Zabuza is still alive." Kakashi, exhausted from Sharingan overuse, glanced sharply at his student. "How can you be certain?" "My breathing technique enhances perception. I could see their chakra connection. They're allies, not enemies." The Jonin considered this information gravely. "Then we have approximately 1 week before Zabuza recovers from that temporary death state. We'll need to prepare." At Tazuna's home, while Kakashi rested, Naruto took the initiative in training his teammates. The revelation of his hidden abilities had created tension, particularly with Sasuke, whose pride had been wounded by the discovery that the dead last had secretly surpassed him. "I can teach you some breathing exercises that will enhance your existing techniques," Naruto offered during their first private training session. "They won't give you the full effects of sun breathing without years of practice, but they'll immediately improve your chakra efficiency and physical endurance." Sasuke scowled. "Why would you help me? And why should I trust anything from someone who's been lying this entire time?" "I wasn't lying, just waiting for the right moment." Naruto met his gaze steadily. "And I'm helping because we're teammates. Your strength is our strength." After a tense silence, Sasuke grudgingly accepted the offer. Over the following days, both he and Sakura began incorporating Naruto's basic breathing exercises into their training, experiencing noticeable improvements in their stamina and technique precision. During this period, Naruto also connected with Inari, Tazuna's grandson. Rather than delivering a brash lecture about courage, he shared quiet stories of his own loneliness and how he'd found purpose in protecting others. "Sometimes the bravest thing isn't fighting," he told the boy one evening. "Sometimes it's continuing to care about others when everything in you wants to give up." These words, delivered with genuine understanding rather than judgment, reached Inari in ways that platitudes couldn't. Gradually, the boy's bitterness began to thaw, replaced by cautious hope. When the inevitable confrontation with Zabuza and his accomplice Haku arrived, Team 7 faced it with new cohesion. Naruto and Sasuke confronted Haku while Kakashi engaged Zabuza, leaving Sakura to guard Tazuna. Inside Haku's crystal ice mirrors, Naruto faced a pivotal decision. His sun-breathing techniques could potentially break through the ice prison, but doing so would expose Haku to Sasuke's increasingly desperate attacks. Despite their enmity, Naruto sensed in Haku a kindred spirit, someone fighting not for themselves, but to protect a precious person. When Haku targeted Sasuke with a barrage of Senbon, Naruto made his choice. Moving with the speed of the second form, Clear Blue Sky, he intercepted the needles meant for his teammate, dozens of them embedding in his body. "Naruto!" Sasuke shouted, genuine alarm replacing his usual disdain. "I'm fine," Naruto responded, remaining standing despite his injuries. His breathing technique kept him conscious and functioning where others would have collapsed. "Sasuke, this opponent isn't our real enemy." "What are you talking about? He's trying to kill us!" Naruto shook his head, addressing Haku directly. "You're not aiming for vital points. Every Senbon is precisely placed to incapacitate, not kill. You don't want this fight any more than we do." Behind his mask, Haku faltered. "You have unusual perception for one so young." "I understand fighting to protect someone precious," Naruto replied. That's Zabuza for you, isn't it? The momentary connection created an opening that Naruto hadn't anticipated. Sasuke's Sharingan awakened, triggered by his concern when he thought Naruto might die protecting him. With his newly activated dojutsu, Sasuke could now track Haku's movements between mirrors. The battle dynamic shifted dramatically. Rather than fighting to defeat Haku, Naruto began coordinating with Sasuke to drive him into a position where they could talk rather than fight. When they finally managed to crack one of the ice mirrors, Haku removed his mask in surrender. "You are strange, shinobi, indeed," he said softly. "Why seek understanding when victory was within your grasp?" "Because some victories aren't worth the cost," Naruto answered. "You're fighting for someone precious to you. I respect that, even if I don't agree with your methods." Their conversation was interrupted by a surge of murderous chakra from Zabuza and Kakashi's battle. Haku's eyes widened in alarm. "He needs me," he whispered, disappearing in a swirl of ice crystals. Naruto and Sasuke rushed to find Kakashi preparing his lightning blade, ready to deliver a killing blow to a severely wounded Zabuza. Haku moved to intercept, willing to die for his master. In that critical moment, Naruto activated the transparent world perception again, seeing not just physical movements, but the emotional bonds connecting these supposed enemies. Without conscious thought, he moved faster than he ever had before, arriving between Kakashi and Haku just as the lightning blade thrust forward. "Stop!" he shouted, Nichiren blade materializing in his hand, glowing with unprecedented brightness. What happened next astonished everyone present. The Nichiren blade intercepted Kakashi's lightning blade, somehow absorbing the electrical chakra without shattering. Golden light erupted from the point of contact, temporarily blinding all observers. When vision cleared, Naruto stood unharmed, the Nichiren blade still intact, its edge now permanently etched with lightning-like patterns. Kakashi stumbled backward, his jutsu completely neutralized. "Enough," Naruto said, voice carrying unusual authority. "This battle is pointless. The real enemy isn't here. He's watching from a distance, planning to betray you both." As if summoned by these words, slow clapping echoed across the bridge. Gato appeared at the far end, flanked by dozens of mercenaries. "How touching," the shipping magnate sneered. "And convenient, too. You've all weakened each other nicely for my men to finish off." What followed was unexpected alliance. Zabuza and Haku, recognizing Gato's betrayal, joined forces with Team 7 against the mercenaries. The battle was brief but decisive. Naruto fought alongside Haku, their complementary techniques creating devastatingly effective combinations. Meanwhile, Zabuza, despite his injuries, carved a path directly to Gato with Kakashi's strategic support. When the dust settled, Gato was dead, his mercenaries scattered, and the land of waves freed from his tyranny. More surprisingly, Zabuza and Haku survived, their encounter with Naruto having shifted their path in ways none could have predicted. "What will you do now?" Naruto asked them as Team 7 prepared to return to Konoha. Zabuza regarded the young shinobi thoughtfully. "Find a new purpose, I suppose. There must be other places where our skills are needed without requiring us to sell our souls. Consider coming to Konoha," Naruto suggested. "The third Hokage is wise. He might offer sanctuary in exchange for your knowledge." Though Zabuza scoffed at the idea, Haku's eyes reflected consideration. "Perhaps someday, Naruto-kun. You've given us much to think about." As Team 7 departed across the newly completed bridge, now named the Great Naruto Bridge in honor of the young shinobi who had inspired hope, Kakashi placed a hand on Naruto's shoulder. "You continue to surprise me," the Jonin admitted. "What you did on that bridge, I've never seen anything like it." Naruto smiled quietly. "I'm still learning myself, Kakashi-sensei." "Well, one thing's certain," Kakashi smiled. "The Chunin exams are approaching, and after this mission, I believe Team 7 is more than ready to participate." Naruto's expression grew serious. "The exams will bring new challenges, and I sense they'll be more dangerous than any of us expect." His words carried prophetic weight that even he couldn't fully appreciate. As they journeyed home, the Nichiren blade on his back hummed with subtle energy, as if responding to distant events already set in motion. Events that would soon test the limits of his abilities and the depth of his commitment to protecting those precious to him. Word of Team 7's mission to the Land of Waves, particularly Naruto's unexpected abilities, spread quickly throughout Konoha upon their return. Though official reports remained classified, rumors abounded of the dead last, suddenly revealing mastery of unknown techniques. Naruto found himself the subject of curious glances and whispered conversations wherever he went. The third Hokage summoned him for a private meeting, where Naruto provided a carefully edited account of discovering ancient scrolls containing the breathing techniques. Hiruzen Sarutobi listened with keen interest, occasionally asking pointed questions that suggested he suspected there was more to the story. These techniques, the elderly Hokage mused, they're not related to any known shinobi arts, yet they clearly enhance your natural abilities significantly. They work differently than standard chakra manipulation, Naruto explained. The breathing patterns harmonize physical and spiritual energies in ways that amplify everything: strength, speed, perception. And this blade? Hiruzen gestured to the Nichiren sword now openly carried on Naruto's back. It's called a Nichiren blade. It responds to my spirit and can channel the energy generated by the breathing techniques. The Hokage studied him thoughtfully. Naruto, you understand that suddenly revealing such capabilities raises questions. Some in the village may see this as concerning. Naruto nodded solemnly. I know, Gigi. That's partly why I kept it secret until now. But I can't hide who I am anymore. Not if I want to truly protect this village and everyone in it. Something in those words seemed to resonate with the old leader. After a long pause, he smiled gently. You're growing into a fine young man, Naruto. Your parents would be proud. This casual reference to his unknown parents caught Naruto by surprise. But before he could question it, the Hokage continued. I'm approving Team 7's participation in the upcoming Chunin exams. Use your abilities wisely, and remember, sometimes knowing when not to reveal your full strength is as important as knowing when to use it. In the weeks leading up to the exams, Naruto divided his time between team training and private sessions with those close to him. To his surprise, Hinata sought him out after hearing about his hidden abilities. In Naruto-kun, she approached him one evening as he practiced alone in a remote training ground. I was wondering if... That is, could you? Her voice faltered. Would you like to train together, Hinata? He offered gently. Her grateful smile was answer enough. Over the following days, they established a routine of morning practice sessions. Naruto taught her the basic breathing techniques, which complemented her gentle fist style remarkably well. The precision breathing enhanced her already excellent chakra control, allowing for more efficient use of her Byakugan and more powerful strikes. Your natural affinity for water-based energy works perfectly with these techniques, Naruto observed as they practiced beside a small stream. Try synchronizing your breath with the water's flow. When Hinata followed his suggestion, the results were immediate. Her movements became more fluid, her strikes gaining both speed and power while requiring less effort. More importantly, her confidence grew visibly with each successful session. Thank you for helping me, Naruto-kun, she said softly after a particularly productive morning. No one has ever believed in me the way you do. I'm not believing in you, Hinata, he replied with a warm smile. I'm simply seeing what's already there. The sincerity in his voice brought a blush to her cheeks, but she didn't stammer or faint as she once might have. Instead, she met his gaze with newfound steadiness. The exams start tomorrow. Will you be careful? I've heard this year's participants are especially dangerous. I will, he promised. And you do the same. Your team is lucky to have you. The moment lingered between them, comfortable yet charged with unspoken emotion. Finally, with surprising boldness, Hinata stepped forward and quickly embraced him. For luck, she whispered before hurrying away, leaving Naruto with a grin that lasted the rest of the day. When the first phase of the Chunin exams began, Team 7 entered the examination room with quiet confidence. Naruto's enhanced perception immediately identified key participants. The Sand siblings with their dangerous auras, particularly Gaara's malevolent chakra, the Sound ninja with their furtive glances and hostile intent, and most concerningly, a silver-haired leaf genin named Kabuto, whose friendly demeanor masked something deeply wrong beneath. The written test, designed to encourage cheating, posed no challenge for Naruto. His breathing technique sharpened his senses to the point where he could hear the scratch of pencils from across the room, allowing him to discern answers without obvious cheating methods. More importantly, he recognized the true purpose of the test immediately. Not knowledge, but information gathering and psychological pressure. When Ibiki Morino presented the final question with its severe consequences, Naruto remained calmly in his seat, silently encouraging his teammates with steady confidence. Unlike his canon counterpart, he made no dramatic speeches. His quiet certainty was influence enough for those around him. The second phase in the Forest of Death brought more serious challenges. As Team 7 ventured deeper into the dangerous terrain, Naruto's senses heightened to maximum alertness. The forest's familiar pathways, secretly explored during his years of training with Hinokami, gave his team a significant advantage in navigation. "Something's approaching," he warned his teammates on their second day. Something powerful and wrong. Moments later, a violent wind technique separated him from Sasuke and Sakura. By the time he fought his way back, he found them confronting a grass ninja whose chakra signature made his skin crawl. Inhuman, ancient, and saturated with malice. Without hesitation, Naruto drew his Nichiren blade and activated the fourth form, Rising Solar Flare. The sword blazed with golden light as he launched himself at the disguised Orochimaru, moving faster than even the Sannin anticipated. The surprise attack caught Orochimaru off guard, the Nichiren blade slicing through his disguise and drawing first blood. The Sannin leapt backward, eyes widening with genuine surprise. "My," he hissed, shedding his damaged facial disguise. "What an unexpected treasure, the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki with abilities I've never encountered before." "Get back, both of you," Naruto instructed his teammates, maintaining his stance between them and Orochimaru. "This isn't an opponent we can defeat. We need to retreat and find help." But Sasuke, trembling with fear yet unwilling to flee, stepped forward. "No, I won't run away." Orochimaru's laughter echoed through the forest. "Such pride! Yes, show me your potential, Sasuke-kun." What followed was a desperate battle unlike the original timeline. Instead of freezing in terror, Naruto coordinated with his teammates, using his breathing techniques to enhance their collective effectiveness. Sasuke's newly acquired Sharingan combined with the basic breathing exercises Naruto had taught him allowed him to track Orochimaru's movements more effectively than in canon. Even Sakura, typically sidelined in such encounters, contributed meaningfully. The breathing techniques had improved her chakra control further, enabling her to execute perfect genjutsu that momentarily disoriented even Orochimaru during crucial moments. Despite their improved performance, the outcome was inevitable. Orochimaru was simply too powerful. When he extended his neck to bite Sasuke and apply the cursed seal, however, Naruto saw the attack coming through his transparent world perception. "Ninth form," he whispered, "Solar Horizon Step." Moving with blinding speed, Naruto intercepted Orochimaru's strike, the Nichiren blade severing the extended neck before it could reach Sasuke. The Sannin's head retracted with a howl of pain and fury. "You dare!" Orochimaru snarled, his neck reforming as he glared at Naruto with hatred. "For that, you'll suffer before you die." The attack that followed was overwhelming, a barrage of techniques too powerful for Genin to counter. As Naruto prepared to unleash his most powerful form to protect his teammates, something unexpected happened. The marks that Hinokami had described, the Demon Slayer mark, began to manifest on his forehead, a flame-like pattern that burned with internal light. Power surged through him, unlike anything he'd experienced before. His perception expanded exponentially, time seemingly slowing as he tracked every minute movement of his opponent. The Nichiren blade blazed with light so intense it left after images in the air. 13th form, Naruto whispered, the words carrying power beyond their sound. Solar eclipse. What Orochimaru experienced next defied his centuries of combat experience. The boy moved not just with speed, but with perfect precision, each strike targeting vulnerabilities the Sannin didn't know he possessed. The Nichiren blade cut through his strongest defenses, severing chakra pathways and disrupting his techniques before they fully formed. For a brief, shocking moment, Orochimaru felt something he hadn't experienced in decades: fear. Realizing the unexpected threat, the Sannin made a strategic retreat. "We'll meet again, Naruto-kun," he hissed, body melting into the tree bark. "Your abilities have piqued my interest. As Orochimaru vanished, the mark on Naruto's forehead faded, the surge of power receding. He dropped to one knee, breathing heavily. The technique had extracted a heavy toll, just as Hinokami had warned. "Naruto!" Sakura rushed to his side. "Are you all right? What was that?" "A technique I hoped I wouldn't need to use," he managed between labored breaths. "We need to keep moving. He might return." Sasuke stared at his teammate with an unreadable expression, a mixture of awe, gratitude, and something darker. "You saved me from whatever he was trying to do." "That's what teammates do," Naruto replied simply, rising to his feet. "Come on, we still need an Earth Scroll." The remainder of their forest journey proved less eventful. They obtained their needed scroll from a team of Rain Ninja, using coordinated tactics that showcased their growing teamwork. When they reached the central tower with days to spare, they found themselves among the first teams to complete the challenge. During the preliminary matches that followed, Naruto's bout against Kiba Inuzuka demonstrated his transformed fighting style. Rather than relying on shadow clones or endurance, Naruto used precise breathing techniques and measured movements. He defeated Kiba without drawing his Nichiren blade, using only enhanced taijutsu that left spectators murmuring in appreciation. Hinata's match against Neji proved the most dramatic departure from the original timeline. Before she entered the arena, Naruto approached her with quiet confidence. "Remember what we practiced," he said softly. "Your strength isn't in power, but in precision. Water flows around obstacles it cannot overcome directly." Strengthened by his words and their training together, Hinata faced her cousin with newfound determination. Though Neji's technical skill remained superior, Hinata's enhanced breathing techniques allowed her to weather his initial assault, her improved chakra control negating some of his gentle fist strikes. When Neji launched into his speech about unchangeable fate, Hinata didn't cower as she once might have. Instead, she responded with quiet dignity. "Perhaps fate exists, Neji-san," she said, dropping into a stance Naruto had taught her, "but how we face it remains our choice." What followed wasn't a one-sided beating, but a genuine match. Hinata couldn't overcome Neji's prodigious talent entirely, but she landed significant blows and demonstrated skills that shocked the Hyuga elders watching. When she finally fell, it was not in humiliation, but with honor intact, having pushed her genius cousin to his limits. As medical nin carried her from the arena, Naruto felt an emotion he hadn't expected. Pride. Not in his teaching, but in her courage. Something shifted in his heart as he watched her small form being taken for treatment, a protective instinct deeper than friendship. The month between preliminaries and finals brought new developments. While Kakashi focused on training Sasuke to handle his upcoming match with Gaara, Naruto split his time between personal training and visits to the hospital where Hinata was recovering. "You were amazing," he told her during his first visit, placing fresh sunflowers beside her bed. She smiled weakly. "I still lost." "You showed everyone who you really are," he countered. "That's more important than winning." Their conversations during these visits deepened their connection. Naruto shared stories of his childhood loneliness and his discovery of the breathing techniques, though still omitting mention of Hinokami. While Hinata spoke of the pressures of being the Hyuga heir and her struggles for recognition. "Sometimes I wonder if I'm fighting for the wrong reasons," she confessed one afternoon. "Am I seeking strength to protect others, or just to prove my own worth?" "Maybe it's both," Naruto suggested. "We all start by wanting acknowledgement. The important part is growing beyond that to find something worth protecting." His own words resonated with his personal journey, from the lonely child seeking attention to the young man committed to protecting everyone precious to him. During this period, Jiraiya approached Naruto, intrigued by reports of his unusual abilities. Their meeting differed significantly from canon. Rather than tricking the boy into releasing the Nine-Tails chakra, Jiraiya was genuinely interested in understanding the breathing techniques. "I've traveled throughout the elemental nations for decades," the Sannin remarked as they trained beside a waterfall, "but I've never encountered anything like your fighting style. It's not quite taijutsu, not quite kenjutsu, and definitely not standard chakra manipulation." Naruto demonstrated the basic forms, explaining the principles behind them. To his surprise, Jiraiya grasped the concepts quickly, his mastery of sage techniques providing a framework for understanding the breathing methods. Fascinating, the older ninja mused. It's almost like a primitive form of senjutsu, harmonizing natural energy with the body through controlled respiration. This observation gave Naruto new insights into his own techniques. With Jiraiya's guidance, he began exploring ways to integrate traditional ninja arts more effectively with his breathing methods. Together they developed a new application, a Rasengan variant enhanced by sun breathing that Naruto named Solar Rasengan, which manifested as a golden-orange sphere with sun-like rays extending from its core. When the final phase of the Chunin exams arrived, Konoha buzzed with anticipation. Naruto's match against Neji had become one of the most anticipated, with many curious to see the mysterious techniques he displayed during preliminaries. As they faced each other in the arena, Neji's cold confidence contrasted with Naruto's serene focus. "You may have helped Hinata-sama perform beyond her limitations," Neji stated, "but fate has already determined the outcome of our match. Your defeat is inevitable." Naruto's response was measured. "Hinata showed more courage against you than most shinobi show in their entire careers. This match isn't about fate, Neji. It's about choices, including the choice to let go of hatred." The battle that followed was nothing like its canon counterpart. Instead of a slugfest relying on shadow clones and Nine-Tails chakra, Naruto demonstrated technical brilliance. His breathing techniques allowed him to flow around Neji's gentle fist strikes while launching precisely timed counterattacks. When Neji revealed his rotation technique, Naruto adapted immediately, using the sixth form, Burning Daybreak, to match the Hyuga prodigy's spinning defense with his own spiral-patterned attack. The collision of techniques created a spectacular display of golden light meeting blue chakra, drawing gasps from the audience. The decisive moment came when Neji, frustrated by his inability to land clean hits, committed fully to his 8 trigram 64 palms. Instead of trying to avoid the technique, Naruto entered a state of perfect breathing, what Hinokami had called the selfless state, where his movements transcended conscious thought. To observers, including the astonished Hyuga clan members, it appeared as though Naruto was flowing between Neji's strikes like water, each movement precise to the millimeter. Not a single palm strike connected cleanly. As Neji's technique concluded, leaving him momentarily extended, Naruto countered with a single, perfect strike, not to injure, but to disrupt Neji's chakra network just enough to render his arms temporarily numb. "Your technique is flawless," Naruto acknowledged as Neji struggled to regain control of his limbs, "but perfection without compassion becomes brittleness. Your hatred of the main house has become a cage stronger than any seal." Something in those words, combined with the irrefutable demonstration of his technique's vulnerability, reached through Neji's defenses. For the first time, doubt flickered across his face. Naruto continued softly, "Hinata doesn't deserve your hatred. She suffers under the same system you rage against, yet she responds with kindness instead of bitterness. Which of you is truly stronger?" The match concluded with Neji's technical defeat, but the greater victory was the seed of change planted in the Hyuga prodigy's mind. As they left the arena, Neji asked quietly, "Could you teach me? Not just the techniques, but how to see beyond the cage." Naruto's smile was genuine. "That's something we can learn together, Neji." The subsequent matches proceeded differently from canon due to Naruto's influence. Sasuke, having incorporated basic breathing techniques into his training, displayed enhanced speed and precision in his fight with Gaara. However, the Sand Ninja's instability remained a critical factor, and the invasion began on schedule when Gaara's control began slipping. As feathers of sleep genjutsu descended on the stadium, Naruto's enhanced perception allowed him to dispel the technique immediately. He quickly located Sakura and Shikamaru, instructing them to wake others while he pursued Sasuke, who had chased after the fleeing Gaara. The village erupted into chaos as Sand and Sound Ninja launched their coordinated attack. Unlike in canon, Naruto didn't immediately pursue Gaara. Instead, he paused to ensure Hinata's safety, finding her already awake and helping evacuate civilians with her team. "Be careful," she urged, genuine concern in her pale eyes. "You too," he replied, squeezing her hand briefly. "Find somewhere safe and protect as many people as you can." Their momentary connection broke as a massive snake summoned crashed through the village wall. Naruto's path diverged from canon as he made a critical decision. Sasuke could handle himself temporarily, but civilians needed immediate protection. Drawing his Nichiren blade, which blazed golden in response to the danger, Naruto leapt toward the giant serpent. Landing on its scaled head, he executed the eighth form, Sunflower Thread, a technique specifically designed for larger opponents. The Nichiren blade carved precise patterns across the snake's head, severing key nerves and chakra pathways. The massive summon collapsed, dispelling in a cloud of smoke before it could destroy more of the village. This display of power drew the attention of several sound jonin, who converged on Naruto with murderous intent. The battles that followed showcased the full range of his abilities, each opponent falling to different applications of his breathing techniques. Throughout the skirmishes, Naruto maintained perfect situational awareness, often changing course mid-fight to rescue civilians or support fellow Konoha shinobi. When he finally pursued Sasuke and Gaara, he found the situation rapidly deteriorating. Gaara had partially transformed, his sand taking on the characteristics of Shukaku. Sasuke, despite his enhanced abilities, was severely outmatched and injured. Naruto arrived just as Gaara prepared a killing blow. The Nichiren blade intercepted the sand claw inches from Sasuke's throat, golden light burning away the transformed sand on contact. "Get back to the village," Naruto instructed his injured teammate. "They need your help there." "I don't need your protection," Sasuke growled, though he could barely stand. "This isn't about you or me," Naruto replied calmly. "It's about what's best for everyone. Please, Sasuke." Something in Naruto's tone, not condescension but genuine concern, reached through Sasuke's pride. With a reluctant nod, he withdrew, leaving Naruto facing the increasingly unstable Gaara. "You, what are you?" Gaara demanded, sand writhing around him like agitated snakes. "Why do you fight so hard for others?" Naruto sheathed his blade, approaching slowly. "Because connections to others give life meaning, Gaara. I understand your loneliness. I lived in darkness too, until I found people precious to me." "Precious people make you weak," Gaara snarled. Launching a barrage of sand bullets, Naruto dodged with fluid grace, continuing to approach. "No, they give us strength beyond anything we could achieve alone. You and I are the same, Gaara. We both carry burdens no child should bear." For the first time, uncertainty flickered across Gaara's face. Naruto pressed his advantage, not with attacks but with words. "The voice in your head, Shukaku, he's lied to you. He doesn't protect you out of love, but uses you for his own freedom. Real connections don't demand blood sacrifices." These words penetrated deeper than any physical attack could have. Gaara's transformation faltered as confusion replaced rage in his eyes. Taking advantage of this opening, Naruto closed the distance and placed his hand on Gaara's shoulder, the first non-violent human contact the Sand Ninja had experienced in years. "Let me show you another way," Naruto said softly, channeling the calming energy of his breathing technique through the contact. What happened next was unprecedented. The breathing energy, enhanced by Naruto's natural empathy and the Nine-Tails chakra, created a momentary spiritual bridge between Jinchuriki. Gaara experienced a flash of Naruto's memories, the loneliness, the discovery of purpose, the connections formed with precious people. Simultaneously, Naruto glimpsed Gaara's tortured existence, the assassination attempts, Yashimaru's betrayal, years of isolation. The connection broke after mere seconds, but its impact was profound. Gaara's sand armor crumbled as he collapsed to his knees, tears streaming down his face for the first time since infancy. "How?" he whispered. "How did you survive such loneliness without becoming a monster?" "By refusing to let others define me," Naruto answered, kneeling beside him. "The same choice is available to you, Gaara." Their conversation was interrupted by the arrival of Gaara's siblings, Temari and Kankuro, ready to continue fighting. To their shock, Gaara raised his hand to stop them. "Enough," he said hoarsely. "This invasion is over for us." The failed invasion left Konoha damaged but intact. The third Hokage, though severely injured in his battle with Orochimaru, survived due to timely intervention from Anbu forces. His brush with death, however, convinced him of the need to appoint a successor. In the aftermath, Naruto was commended for his actions during the crisis. Not just his combat prowess, but his prioritization of civilian safety and his peaceful resolution with Gaara, which had prompted the Sand siblings to withdraw their forces early. Most significantly, the mysterious demon slayer Mark had briefly reappeared during his most intense battles, drawing the attention of several observant jonin, including Danzo Shimura, whose interest in Naruto took on a calculated quality that would have concerning implications later. 2 weeks after the invasion, with reconstruction efforts well underway, Jiraiya approached Naruto with a mission directly from the recovering Hokage. "We need to find Tsunade," the Sannin explained. "The old man's injuries require her medical expertise, and he wants to convince her to become the 5th Hokage." Naruto accepted the mission immediately, recognizing its importance. Before departing, he sought out Hinata, finding her helping rebuild a civilian district alongside her team. "I'll be gone for a while," he told her, helping lift a heavy beam into place. "Special mission with Jiraiya-sensei." Hinata nodded, understanding the importance without needing details. "Please be careful, Naruto-kun." As they worked side by side for a few minutes, Naruto made a decision. "Hinata, when I get back, would you like to have dinner together? Not just as friends, but, you know." Her eyes widened, a blush spreading across her cheeks. For a moment, he feared she might faint, as she once would have. Instead, she smiled with newfound confidence. "I'd like that very much." Their farewell was brief, but meaningful, a promise of something new upon his return. As Naruto left to meet Jiraiya at the village gate, his heart felt lighter than it had in years. The journey to find Tsunade differed significantly from canon. Rather than needing to learn the Rasengan from scratch, Naruto focused on refining his Solar Rasengan variant with Jiraiya's guidance. Their relationship developed more as equals than master and student, with the Sannin genuinely impressed by Naruto's maturity and unique skills. "The old man told me everything about your breathing techniques," Jiraiya mentioned as they traveled. "Well, everything you told him, which I suspect isn't the whole story." Naruto maintained a neutral expression. "I've shared what's important." Jiraiya chuckled. "Keeping secrets from a spy master? Bold choice, kid. But I respect your privacy, for now." Their search led them to Tanzaku Town, where they encountered Tsunade much as in the original timeline. Her initial dismissal of Konoha's request was expected, but her reaction to Naruto was not. "What's with the sword?" she demanded, eyeing the Nichiren blade with suspicious recognition. "That craftsmanship, I haven't seen anything like it since." She trailed off, exchanging a significant look with Shizune that Naruto didn't miss. "You've seen a blade like this before?" he asked sharply. Tsunade recovered quickly. "Long ago. It's nothing important." But her eyes continued to study him with new interest throughout their conversation. When Orochimaru approached Tsunade with his offer, healing his arms in exchange for reviving her loved ones, Naruto and Jiraiya arrived in time to witness the negotiation. Unlike in canon, Naruto immediately recognized the emotional manipulation at work. "He's lying," Naruto stated flatly, stepping forward with his Nichiren blade drawn. "Whatever technique he's offering, it won't bring back what you've lost, Tsunade-sama. It will only corrupt their memory." Orochimaru's eyes narrowed at Naruto's appearance. "We meet again, boy. I still owe you for our encounter in the forest." The confrontation that followed demonstrated how far Naruto had progressed. Fighting alongside Jiraiya against Orochimaru and Kabuto, he displayed combat prowess that impressed even the legendary Sannin. His breathing techniques perfectly complemented Jiraiya's more conventional ninjutsu, creating offensive combinations that repeatedly broke through their opponent's defenses. The turning point came when Kabuto targeted Tsunade, exploiting her hemophobia by covering himself in blood. As the medical nin approached the paralyzed Tsunade with a kunai, Naruto intercepted with the third form, scorching Crimson Mirror, his blade moving in a circular pattern that deflected Kabuto's strike while simultaneously scoring a deep cut across his chest. "Your medical ninjutsu is impressive," Naruto acknowledged as Kabuto staggered backward. "But it has limits. The breathing technique I just used disrupts chakra flow at the cellular level. Your healing won't work properly for at least 10 minutes. Kabuto's shocked expression confirmed the accuracy of this assessment. For the first time, genuine fear appeared in his eyes as he realized his primary advantage had been neutralized. Seeing his subordinate in trouble, Orochimaru disengaged from Jiraiya to attack Naruto directly. "You continue to intrigue me, Naruto-kun. Such unusual abilities in one so young. Perhaps I've been pursuing the wrong Konoha Genin." Their clash was brief but intense. Orochimaru's superior experience initially gave him the advantage, but when he attempted to use his sword of Kusanagi, something unexpected occurred. The Nichiren blade not only parried the legendary weapon, but caused it to crack slightly on contact, a supposedly impossible feat that shocked both combatants. Seizing the momentary advantage, Naruto activated his newly developed Solar Rasengan, the golden rayed sphere slamming into Orochimaru's chest with devastating effect. The Sannin was hurled backward, body smoldering from the impact. "Impossible," Orochimaru hissed, his damaged body struggling to regenerate. "What are you?" Before Naruto could respond, Tsunade stepped forward, her paralysis forgotten in the face of Naruto's courage. "He's the future of Konoha," she declared, cracking her knuckles, "and I'm its present." What followed was a coordinated assault by all three Leaf Ninja that forced Orochimaru and Kabuto to retreat. As they disappeared, Orochimaru's parting words hung ominously in the air. "We'll meet again, Naruto-kun. Your abilities have made you a far more interesting specimen than I anticipated." In the aftermath, Tsunade's perspective shifted dramatically. Unlike in canon, where Naruto had to win her faith through a wager, her respect was earned through his combat prowess and selfless protection. When she agreed to return to Konoha, it wasn't grudging acceptance, but a renewed commitment to the village's future. During their return journey, Tsunade asked Naruto directly about his unusual techniques. Though he maintained his partial truth about discovering ancient scrolls, her response suggested deeper knowledge. "The breathing styles you use," she said carefully, "they were thought extinct for centuries. The last recorded user died during the Warring States period, long before the village system was established." Naruto's surprise was genuine. "You know about the Breath Warriors?" "Only legends and fragments in old medical texts," she replied, studying him intently. "They describe physical transformations beyond normal human limits, enhanced strength, speed, sensory perception, and occasionally a mark would appear on the strongest users." Her eyes fixed on his forehead, where the Demon Slayer mark had briefly manifested during their battle. "The texts called it the Demon Slayer mark," Naruto confirmed cautiously. "It appears during moments of extreme need." Tsunade nodded slowly. "The texts also mention something else, that prolonged use of the mark significantly shortened lifespan. The most powerful users rarely live past 25. This revelation struck Naruto deeply, though he maintained his composure. Hinokami had mentioned the mark's physical cost, but not this specific detail. "Some prices are worth paying to protect what matters," he replied quietly. His response earned a sharp look from Tsunade, followed by unexpected gentleness. "We'll see about that. I didn't become the world's greatest medical ninja to watch promising young shinobi throw their lives away unnecessarily. When we return to Konoha, I want to examine you properly." Upon their return, Tsunade's acceptance of the Hokage position proceeded smoothly. Her first official act, after treating the third Hokage's injuries, was conducting a thorough examination of Naruto. What she discovered both fascinated and concerned her. "Your physiology is unlike anything I've seen," she explained in the privacy of a special examination room. "The breathing techniques have fundamentally altered your cellular structure. Your muscles, nerves, even blood vessels have adapted to channel energy more efficiently." "Is that dangerous?" Naruto asked. "Not inherently. In fact, it's remarkably beneficial. Your healing rate exceeds even what would be expected from your tenant." Her reference to the Nine Tails was tactful. "However, the mark is another matter. Each activation causes minute damage to your cardiovascular system, cumulative effects that could eventually become serious." Naruto absorbed this information stoically. "Can anything be done?" "Possibly. With research, I might develop treatments to mitigate the damage." Tsunade's expression became stern. "In the meantime, use that mark only as an absolute last resort. Consider that a direct order from your Hokage." As promised, upon completing this mission, Naruto sought out Hinata for their dinner together. Their evening at a small restaurant near the Hyuga compound marked a significant development in their relationship. Free from the pressure of missions and training, they spoke openly about their dreams, fears, and hopes for the future. "I've admired you for so long," Hinata confessed, her former stutter completely absent when alone with him. "Not just for your strength, but for your heart, how you never gave up despite how the village treated you." "I admire you too," Naruto replied sincerely. "Your kindness never wavered, even when your family couldn't see your worth. That takes a different kind of strength, one I'm still learning." By evening's end, their relationship had officially transformed from friendship to something deeper. When Naruto walked Hinata home, their goodbye included a gentle, brief first kiss that left both blushing but undeniably happy. This newfound happiness would soon be tested, however. Just days later, word reached Konoha that Sasuke had been approached by the Sound Four, Orochimaru's elite bodyguards, with an offer of power through the cursed seal. Though Sasuke initially rejected their approach, the seeds of temptation had been planted. Naruto, sensing his teammates' internal struggle, sought him out at the Uchiha compound. "They came to you, didn't they?" he asked directly as they sat on the dock where Sasuke often contemplated his past. Sasuke's surprise quickly transformed to suspicion. "How did you know?" "I've been watching for it since the forest," Naruto admitted. "Orochimaru wants you for your Sharingan. He'll promise you power to kill Itachi, but the price will be everything else." "You don't understand my situation?" Sasuke replied coldly. "You've never lost everything." "You're right, I haven't," Naruto acknowledged. "But I know what it's like to be alone. And I know that revenge won't fill the emptiness inside you, Sasuke. It will only create more." "Spare me your philosophy," Sasuke snapped, rising to leave. "You've been hiding your true abilities all this time, getting stronger in secret while pretending to be the dead last. Don't pretend you understand my choices when you've been living a lie." The accusation stung because it contained a kernel of truth. Naruto had concealed his growth, though for different reasons than Sasuke assumed. "You're right that I kept secrets," he conceded, "but never to hold you back or deceive you. I was waiting until I understood my own path." "And now, what great wisdom has your secret training given you?" "That true strength comes from protecting what's precious, not destroying what you hate," Naruto answered simply. "The breathing techniques I learned, they're not meant for vengeance, Sasuke. They exist to protect." Something in those words seemed to reach Sasuke momentarily, doubt flickering across his features. But it passed quickly, replaced by hardened resolve. "We each have our own paths. Mine requires power you couldn't understand." As Sasuke walked away, Naruto called after him one last time. "Whatever you decide, remember that you have people here who care about you. That's not weakness, Sasuke. It's the only real strength there is." That night, despite the warning conversation, Sasuke left the village with the Sound Four. By morning, his absence had been discovered, and Tsunade immediately organized a retrieval team. Naruto volunteered, naturally, but the composition of the team differed from canon. In addition to Shikamaru, Choji, Neji, and Kiba, Hinata was included for her tracking abilities. "Are you sure about this?" Naruto asked her privately as they prepared to depart. "These opponents will be unlike any you faced before." Hinata's determination was evident in her steady gaze. "I'm sure. The breathing techniques you taught me have made me stronger, and my Byakugan will be valuable for the mission." Naruto nodded, pride mingling with concern. "Just promise me you'll be careful. We protect each other, right?" "Right," she agreed with a smile that carried newfound confidence. The pursuit began, much as in canon, with Shikamaru developing a strategic approach to counter the Sound Four's abilities. However, the inclusion of Hinata's Byakugan allowed them to track more efficiently and avoid several traps that would have otherwise delayed them. When they encountered the first opponent, Jirobo, the battle diverged significantly from the original timeline. Instead of Choji remaining behind alone, Hinata stayed with him, their complementary abilities creating an effective combination against the earth-using enemy. Choji's raw power, enhanced by food pills, provided the offensive force, while Hinata's precision gentle fist strikes, amplified by her breathing techniques, targeted critical chakra points. This teamwork allowed them to defeat Jirobo without Choji needing to use the dangerous red pill, preserving his life while still allowing the main group to continue their pursuit. The pattern repeated with subsequent enemies. Against Kidomaru, Neji and Kiba fought together, their tracking abilities negating the spider user's advantage of distance and stealth. Against Tayuya, Shikamaru's shadow techniques combined with well-timed assistance from the Sand siblings, who arrived earlier than in canon due to the faster pace of pursuit, secured victory without nearly the casualties of the original timeline. Naruto and Hinata continued forward, eventually confronting Sakon and Ukon together. Their teamwork demonstrated the depth of their training together, Hinata's water-influenced breathing techniques creating perfect openings for Naruto's sun-based attacks. The dual-bodied enemies found their regenerative abilities countered by the precise chakra disruption effects of Hinata's enhanced gentle fist and Naruto's Nichiren blade. "Your coordination is impressive," Sakon grudgingly acknowledged as he and his brother struggled against the unexpected combination. "But Sasuke-sama has already begun his transformation. You're too late." "We're never too late to help a friend," Naruto responded, executing the seventh form alongside Hinata's water palm strike, the combined technique overwhelming the brothers' defenses. With all four of the Sound Four defeated, Naruto and Hinata raced towards Sasuke's chakra signature, now altered by the activating cursed seal. They found him at the Valley of the End, where he waited beside the massive statues of Madara Uchiha and Hashirama Senju. "I knew you'd be the one to come," Sasuke said as they approached, the black marks of the cursed seal already spreading across his skin. "Always the hero, aren't you, Naruto?" "I'm not here as a hero," Naruto replied, Hinata standing steadfast beside him. "I'm here as your friend." Sasuke's laugh was bitter. "Friend, you've been hiding your true power all along, looking down on me while pretending to be the dead last. Some friend." "That's not true, Sasuke-san," Hinata interjected with unexpected firmness. "Naruto-kun never looked down on anyone. He respects your abilities more than you know." "Stay out of this, Hyuga," Sasuke snapped. "This is between me and him." "No," Naruto corrected quietly. "It's between you and your own pain. Orochimaru is using that pain to manipulate you, Sasuke. The power he offers comes with chains you can't see yet." Sasuke's response was to activate the second stage of his cursed seal, his appearance transforming dramatically as wing-like appendages erupted from his back. "Enough talk. If you want to take me back, you'll have to defeat me first." What followed was a battle unlike anything in the original timeline. Rather than a straightforward clash of raw power, it became a complex demonstration of technique and philosophy. Sasuke's cursed seal enhancements granted him tremendous speed and strength, while his Sharingan predicted movements with uncanny accuracy. Against this, Naruto employed his breathing techniques with surgical precision, each form chosen specifically to counter Sasuke's attacks while minimizing harm. Hinata provided crucial support, her Byakugan tracking Sasuke's chakra network and identifying vulnerabilities in his transformed state. "Why won't you use your full power?" Sasuke demanded after several exchanges left them at stalemate. "Stop holding back!" "Because this isn't about defeating you," Naruto answered, maintaining his breathing rhythm perfectly despite the intensity of combat. "It's about showing you another path." Sasuke's frustration mounted as his increasingly powerful techniques failed to overwhelm Naruto's measured defense. When he finally unleashed his Chidori, charging forward with killing intent, Naruto made his decision. The Demon Slayer mark manifested on his forehead, blazing with internal light as he drew his Nichiren blade. "Total concentration," he whispered, the blade glowing with unprecedented brilliance. Solar eclipse. What Sasuke experienced next defied his Sharingan's predictive abilities. Naruto moved not just with speed but with perfect economy of motion, each action flowing into the next with mathematical precision. The Nichiren blade intercepted his Chidori, somehow absorbing and redirecting its electrical energy in a display that illuminated the entire valley. In that moment of connection, something unexpected occurred, similar to Naruto's encounter with Gaara, but more profound. The energies of the Nichiren blade, the Demon Slayer mark, and the Nine-Tails chakra created a momentary spiritual bridge between them. Through this connection, Sasuke experienced flashes of Naruto's journey. The loneliness, the discovery of purpose, the decision to protect rather than dominate. Simultaneously, Naruto glimpsed the depths of Sasuke's trauma, not just the night of the massacre, but the psychological torture Itachi had inflicted. leaving wounds deeper than any physical injury. The connection broke as they separated, both staggering from the intensity of the experience. The cursed seal receded from Sasuke's skin as he dropped to his knees, breathing heavily. "What did you do to me?" he gasped. "I showed you the truth," Naruto answered softly, the mark fading from his own forehead as he resheathed his blade. "Both mine and yours." Hinata approached cautiously, ready to support either of them as needed. "Sasuke-san, please come back with us. Whatever you're seeking, that path leads only to more pain." Sasuke remained silent for long moments, internal conflict evident in his expression. Finally, he looked up with eyes that held something new, not surrender, but the first glimmer of understanding. "He showed me everything," Sasuke said quietly. "The massacre, Itachi's words, they weren't what I thought. There's something more happening, something I can't see clearly yet." "Then let's discover it together," Naruto offered, extending his hand. "Not as rivals, but as true allies. Whatever Itachi's real motives were, facing him alone isn't the answer." The moment hung in perfect balance, Sasuke's decision poised to send ripples through futures yet unwritten. Finally, with reluctance that gradually transformed to resolution, he accepted Naruto's hand. "I won't return to be controlled," he stated firmly. "Not by the village, not by Orochimaru. I need to find my own answers." "And you will," Naruto assured him, "but not through hatred and isolation. That's what Itachi wanted, for you to become so consumed by vengeance that you'd never question why." As the three made their way back toward Konoha, they encountered the remaining retrieval team members and their sand allies. Gaara, in particular, seemed unsurprised by the peaceful resolution. "You showed him the same truth you showed me," the sand ninja observed quietly to Naruto. "Everyone deserves to see beyond their pain," Naruto replied, "even those who think they don't." Their return to Konoha marked the beginning of significant changes. Sasuke, though technically remaining a leaf shinobi, was granted special status under Tsunade's direct supervision, a compromise that allowed him to pursue information about Itachi while remaining connected to the village. This arrangement satisfied both his need for answers and the village's security concerns. For Naruto and Hinata, the successful mission deepened their connection. Their coordination during combat had demonstrated a natural compatibility that extended beyond their growing personal relationship. In recognition of this, Tsunade began assigning them joint missions that utilized their complementary abilities. Most significantly, Jiraiya approached Naruto with a proposal that would alter his trajectory entirely. "The Akatsuki will be moving soon," the Sannin explained during a private meeting that included Tsunade and the recuperated third Hokage. "They're targeting Jinchuriki, which means you're on their list, kid." "I've been expecting that," Naruto acknowledged, surprising the adults. "My enhanced perception has detected unfamiliar chakra signatures observing the village periodically. One feels similar to Sasuke, but much darker, likely Itachi." Jiraiya nodded, impressed by this confirmation of his own intelligence. "I'm proposing a long-term training journey, 2 to 3 years outside the village, not just to keep you moving and harder to track, but to prepare you for what's coming. The breathing techniques I've mastered are powerful," Jiraiya interrupted, "but incomplete. There's more to your potential than even you understand, Naruto. The Nine Tails chakra, when properly harmonized with your breathing techniques, could create abilities beyond anything the shinobi world has seen. But it requires specialized training away from prying eyes." Naruto considered this proposal carefully. "When would we leave?" "Within the month," Tsunade answered. "We're preparing cover stories and secure communication protocols. This won't be a standard training trip. It's a strategic preparation for coming conflicts." After a thoughtful pause, Naruto made one request. "I'd like Hinata to receive specialized training while I'm gone. Her natural affinity for water-based techniques complements the breathing methods perfectly. She has potential that her clan hasn't fully recognized." The Hokages exchanged glances before Tsunade nodded. "I can arrange that. Her abilities would be valuable as a medical specialist with her Byakugan. I'll take personal interest in her development." In the weeks that followed, Naruto prepared for his departure. He spent time with each precious person, ensuring connections remained strong despite his coming absence. With Sasuke, he shared additional breathing exercises designed to help resist the cursed seal's influence. With Sakura, who had begun medical training under Tsunade, he offered encouragement for her new path. His final evening in the village was spent with Hinata, walking along the riverside where they had often trained together. 3 years is a long time, she said softly as sunset painted the water in hues of gold and crimson. It is, Naruto agreed, taking her hand. But we'll both be stronger when I return, and I'll write whenever I can. I'll be training too, she promised. Tsunade-sama has already outlined a specialized program combining medical techniques with my gentle fist style. She thinks I could develop healing methods that work directly on the chakra network. Pride warmed Naruto's expression. You're going to be amazing, Hinata. You already are. As twilight deepened around them, their farewell wasn't marked by dramatic promises or tearful declarations. Instead, they shared a quiet moment of connection, foreheads touching, hands intertwined, breathing synchronized in perfect harmony. When I return, Naruto whispered, we'll face whatever comes together. Dawn found him at the village gates where Jiraiya waited. As they prepared to depart, Naruto cast one last glance at the Hokage monument, now featuring Tsunade's newly carved face alongside her predecessors. The next time I stand here, he promised quietly, I'll be ready to protect everyone, not just with my strength, but with the wisdom to use it properly. Jiraiya clapped him on the shoulder. That's what separates a true shinobi from merely a powerful one, kid. Now come on, we've got a long road ahead. As they walked away from Konoha, the Nichiren blade hummed softly against Naruto's back, as if anticipating the challenges yet to come. The sun rose fully above the horizon, its golden light catching on the distant shrine deep in the forest of death. A connection to ancient powers that had set one boy on a path to reshape the destiny of the entire shinobi world. The journey had only just begun.
That would be all for the part 1 of What If Naruto Had Breathing Techniques. Subscribe, like, share it with your friends, and click that bell to get notified when the next part comes. Peace.